And welcome to your election headquarters. In the next 60 minutes, no money, no votes. That's the stance of Ejura Setre Dumasi delegates to aspirants as they vow to boycott the election if they are not paid.
Scanning by.
No money, no vote.
Also in this bulletin, police have arrested one delegate for attempting to take shots of his ballot after voting at Tamale. We're live on the ground for details. And in the Greater Accra region, macho men stormed the Adenton voting center, clashing with the police. We'll cross over live to our correspondent for details. My name is Faustina Safon. We're bringing you nationwide coverage of the New Patriotic Party's Orphan Constituency parliamentary primaries. We're your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Thanks for choosing us. This is your election headquarters. Now, let's start with the Greater Accra region, which, by the way, has the highest number of constituencies where the election will be taking place. Lawyer Ken Crunchy, a contender in the Okaikwe North constituency, is alleging that 3 out of the 6 candidates contesting in the primaries do not qualify to contest and should not have been allowed to do so. According to the editor-in-chief of Daily Searchlight newspaper, the Deputy Trades Minister Nana Amadokwa and former Maslock CEO Efia Koto do not fulfill the requirements of the constituency and the constituents of the party to contest. He spoke exclusively to JoyNews.
Well, it has been difficult. Different sets of principles apply. But we are making the best effort to make them, the ethics as congenial and as similar as possible. It's not an easy transition. A different set of rules apply, so it is not easy.
But what do you make of the processes so far?
Well, what I've seen here is peaceful. When I came initially, I understand that some deceased people had somehow managed to receive tax and were going to vote. Fortunately, they were discovered and have been flushed out of the system. Just when I got here, a blind person that I know was going to vote with the daughter, but the daughter was hijacked, taken out of the process, and the stranger took over. We pointed it out, and that has been dealt with. So I think that there's a need for a lot more vigilance than we have seen so far, but so far things are okay.
What is your confidence level in annexing, the opportunity or the ticket to represent the party in the constituency? Because you are running against a former deputy minister, a former MP, a current deputy minister, a former CEO of Maslow.
Well, if it were a free and fair election, I would be very confident. But I must be frank and point out certain problems we have. 3 of the candidates contesting this particular election here today are not qualified to contest. So that puts the whole election in another sphere altogether. The deputy minister you mentioned is not eligible according to the laws of Ghana to contest. The so-called Maslock CEO is not eligible under the laws of Ghana and the laws of the New Patriotic Party to contest. And then there's a third gentleman who also goes.
But you believe some people do not qualify?
I do. I believe some people definitely do not. Dokua, for instance, I do not believe qualifies. My sister, Efia Koto, I definitely believe does not qualify. She first became known in the MPP party in about in June. That was the first time I heard that she was interested in becoming a member not a parliamentary aspirant, in becoming a member of the MPP at that level. With Dokua Efiakoto in June this year, 2023. But that doesn't make you a member of the New Patriotic Party at Okakwenoff. That's a different set of rules. And then Dokua first became a member or showed an intention to become a member in February of 2023. So she does not qualify. She's not eligible to be part of this process. But she's part of the process. So it becoming free and fair does not depend on what we are seeing here today.
Well, we'll be touching base with the party for reaction on that. But still in the Greater Accra region, we know that in less than an hour, voting in some 111 orphan constituencies of the governing New Patriotic Party will come to an end. The process, which started at 7 a.m., was marred by confusion, arrests, and demand for change of venue in some areas. But generally, it has been smooth. Let's touch base with our correspondents from across the country for live updates. We start with the Adenton polling station here in the Greater Accra region, where some macho men stormed the voting center, clashing with the police. My colleague Kweku Asante is our man on the ground. Kweku, what can you report?
Well, the situation has now been contained by the Ghana Police Service, who came in with some more reinforcement to be able to deal with the situation. There's been accusation and counter-accusations flying all over, and some of those issues, because you're unable to confirm the details, you're unable to bring that to you. But what we can confirm is that some macho men wearing smokes and other things came in here. For our viewers, those who will recall, the infamous double from the Ayawasu West Rogon by-election violence was at the center of this today. There were pepper sprays flying all over. In fact, innocent bystanders, delegates who were queuing up to go and vote had their share of this scuffle, and for a long time, voting was suspended to be able to deal with this situation. The candidates have been trading allegations of vote buying. There are those who say that delegates are paying so much money and they are bringing in macho men to come and foment trouble here at the Adenton polling station. There are more than 1,500 delegates who are casting their vote. We expect that in the next 45 minutes, the polls will close here, sorting will start, and then counting will also get underway. We've spoken with both candidates who really believe that the situation was unwelcoming and they wanted to deal with the situation. Just about 30 minutes after that scuffle broke out with the patrolmen coming on here, the General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong Kodia, was here and tried to assure delegates that together with the police, they were trying to get the situation under control, and that indeed the situation has been calm here at Adenton and the voting process is ongoing now. Any moment from now, we expect that that process will come to a close. But mind you, Adenton is so crucial for the New Patriotic Party. Before the 2020 election, they controlled that seat. They had won that seat with Yabobia Samoa as the member of parliament, but they lost that seat to Ademu Ramadan with more than 14,000 votes. That is the gap they have to close to be able to hope they can win the seat in 2024. That is why both candidates, Akosia Menu, the deputy CEO of the NYA, as well as Abat Tofik, who is the spokesperson for the Energy Ministry, and another person, Mr. Nate, who is the polling station chairman, have all been arguing that the party needs to be united going into the 2024 election. But if anything, from the scenes we saw here were delegates, frightened about macho men cutting the process, then the party knows that they have to deal with a lot of situations to be able to calm the situation on the ground. But for Stina, as we speak, the situation has calmed. The process is ongoing. I can confirm that more than 1,300 delegates have super cast their vote, leaving about 300 or so to cast their vote for the process to unravel and close. If by 2 p.m. there are more people in the queue, they'll be allowed to vote. But if by 2 p.m. there are no persons in the queue, the polls will close, they'll be sorting, they'll be counting. And then we'll get to know which of the two the leading candidates between Baba Tofik, who is the Energy Ministry spokesperson, as well as Akosia Meni, the Deputy NYA CEO, which of them get to represent the NPP going into the 2024 election.
Interesting there, Kweku Asante. Now, I know you've had your ears to the ground. Have you been interacting with the police to get clarity on what actually sparked this clash?
Well, the police have not been speaking to us in terms of confirming what exactly might have happened. They do not want to confirm, for instance, if they have made any arrests so far. They are really tight-lipped about the situation. But this polling station was brought to a standstill for more than 15-20 minutes when those scuffle broke out here. He had to take the intervention of the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, who had to be called in, Justin Kodia, to drive in immediately to try and speak to both sides, try and speak to some of those persons. As we know now, some of these macho men who came to disrupt the process here are members of the New Patriotic Party. That is not in doubt. And that is why the General Secretary of the party was able to speak with some of their leadership to try and tell them that they should allow this process to continue and that whatever issues they have, they should lodge it through the appropriate mechanism that the party has laid out so that those issues can be dealt with. And they listened to him, and the process has been allowed to continue. When it comes to the police, completely saddened about the situation. At some point, the Greater Accra Regional Command came in here. I saw a number of vehicles from the Regional Command with very high-ranking officials from the Greater Accra Regional Command of the Ghana Police Service coming in to try and sort out the issues. But they will not come to the media and tell us if they've made any arrests, if they've been able to learn what exactly might have happened and what they are doing to forestall that. There is high tension here that if these issues are not dealt with, if counting is underway, there will be more of such macho men to disrupt the process. And that is what the police do not want. They've brought in more men. The place is filled with policemen. And they expect that when the voting process ends and counting begins, they will deploy more men to the 3 polling centers that are here to ensure that no one scatters the counting and sorting process.
Thank you so much. Kwekwa Asante is a man on the ground in the Denton constituency. We'll be coming to you live in less than an hour to get updates when counting begins. Let's head now to the Ashanti region. No money, no votes. That's the stance of Ejura Setri delegates to aspirants as they vow to boycott the election if they are not paid by aspirants. Nabachi Dankwayadum is our man on the ground. Nana, you've been monitoring the electoral process. Tell us what's happening on the ground right now.
So firstly, earlier on, as I sent the videos, we could see clearly that some of these delegates were concerned about the monies that they were being promised by some of these aspirants. But some of them spoke to me. They said that if the aspirants fail to deliver upon their promise to pay for their vote, they are not going to ask their vote. Although we had a number of them who joined the government earlier, the concerns and the of these delegates that if they fail to pay them, if these
rightly, and let's get back on the ground. We know that the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who is also the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, has released a statement urging candidates to remain calm. We'll bring you that shortly while we try to reconnect to Nanabachi Yadum. He's been monitoring the process in the Ejura Setri Dumasi constituency in the Ashanti region. Nanabachi Yadum, we're great to have you back. Now, you've been monitoring the process. Tell us what's happening.
Well, firstly, the videos we sent earlier were clear, aggrieved delegates here at the Ejura Setri Dumasi constituency. They are quite concerned about the money they were being promised by some of these aspirants, and so they decided to boycott the election if the aspirants fail to pay them. At the moment, the aspirants, some of them have come, some of these delegates, and they are trying to reach a consensus with them to come and cast their votes. And at the end of the day, they will make sure that they deliver upon their promise of giving them the amount of money they initially interacted them with. You can see clearly from this view that I'm giving you that a lot of people are here. Some of them, many of them have not casted their votes yet. Some of them too are joining the queue to go and cast their votes. Clearly, we're painting a picture to you as to what is happening here at Ejura Setri Dumasi. I've been told by reports I gathered from the Ghana Police Service that one person was arrested earlier on when they started the voting for taking a picture of his ballot. And so for that one, we are still gathering the information and then we'll bring our viewers up to speed details as to what really transpired earlier when the process began. But then we can clearly confirm that one person has been arrested for taking a picture of his vote. Aside that, 890 delegates are expected to participate in today's electoral process here at the Ejura Setri Dumasi, a constituency well known to be that of the National Democratic Congress, a constituency that has been led by the NDC for quite some time. The only time the FPP won this constituency was in 2012, and after from then, they have not won the constituency again. So it is a targeted constituency for the New Patriotic Party as they aim to unseat the incumbent NDC MP, the Honorable Mohamed Abdawa Brahima. So yes, 3 aspirants are participating in this electoral process today at the Draft Secretary Domestic. One of them would be elected as the parliamentary candidate for the New Patriotic Party and then carry on to take the NPP into the 2024 parliamentary primaries. For money sharing and the agitation of the delegates, I can confirm to you that the delegates are in a crucial meeting with some of these aspirants, and very soon they would reach a consensus as to coming to vote before their money or receiving their money before they get the vote.
Let's listen to that cue now.
It is say no, then I'm more chance and I'm a cocoa.
The chance of Omudisca may ban Sanya Toban. He said, the entire near Blair Chase can only be a pen. And I, Pennyphone say, was said in Tias Primo. It is a Scanabadia, who be a cocotana, a free.
Scanning by
No money, no vote.
There's soon as other aspirant to be at your Musicaba, and I will be a
funny day. My once you couldn't hear. Will be a chance, say, maybe 5 in a bar. Once received the Ebeba. I said, oh, Obiasica Maya, number and buying for so also. In Pessim, Obiasica and Salmon Smokakotraban.
It will say no money,
no vote.
I say, Sikane bar, Mubakotoba.
Make Kamacha, and 1 minute to Grammatos. You call for 12 years.
Sikasana Mohe in the Muso of the Bama.
Oh, do be a bit to me, will be a hard debate me or the Babano. So, if you want to correct here, and a bit more to a man. That's only what you say, me who idea, but trouble maybe you know, be anyhow.
It's a mbaya, and I did some of the trouble.
Sir,
Worrying there, Nana, this is clearly a breach of the party's constitution, demanding money before voting. I'm sure you've been interacting with the delegates. So far, how many of them have casted their ballots? Oh, unfortunately, we can't hear you. Position rightly. Let's still in the Ashanti region. Let's head now to Asawasi, where over 956,000 delegates have casted their ballots in the Offen constituency election in less than an hour to the close of the polls. 3 candidates are in the race to lead the NPP in that constituency. They include Ibrahim and his uncle Yusuf Osman, as well as treasurer of the NPP in the Ashanti region, who is Hajia Zinabu Salo. Nana Yaujima is in that constituency currently. He has been monitoring the situation on the ground. He joins us live with more. Nana Yaujima, what can you report at the Asawasi constituency?
In about an hour, the Electoral Commission will wrap up here in the Asawasi constituency. Behind me are the policemen who are now opening up the barricades and preparing for the Electoral Commission to, wrap everything up and start counting. So the police just received an order to open up the barricade which they've created here. We have a number of policemen here ensuring that everything here goes on smoothly. Since morning, things have been very, very calm. As you said, all 3 candidates for this election are on the ground. They are all trying to wrap up their campaigns here. They are trying to speak to the delegates and whip up interest in the delegates and get them to cast their ballots here in the Asawasi constituency. 1,079 delegates were expected to come in here and cast their ballots. Before coming in on air, I went to the EC to, check with the figures that so far have been able to go through the process. And according to the EC, over 950 delegates have since been here, gone through the process and have cast their ballots. I have with me one of the candidates, Osman Yusuf, and I will be having a brief interaction with him on his chances. Osman, you've been here since morning. How do you see the process so far?
The process is good, fantastic election, because the way people, they see Asawasi, they come, they just see another thing. Because all the time in Asawasi, a lot of people, they say like something like violence. But this election is peace because we are all one family. So I believe everything go well, and this is a good election for Asawasi.
So interestingly, Osman is in this race with his nephew, Manaf Ibrahim, and it looks like a lot of people in Asawase are questioning why an uncle would want to contest his nephew, who has shown long interest in the Asawase seat. What prompted such a decision to contest your nephew, who many know that have been eyeing the Asawase seat for a long time?
This one, I think this one is it's not a family affair. This one we are doing a politics business. So this one will be politics. So this one, I think, is nothing wrong about this contest.
How do you see your chances of winning today's election?
I'll win because Asawase people really need unity in Asawase. So I'm the unifier. So I'm sure I gotta win, inshallah.
On the grounds, I'm hearing that some people are giving some TNT, as they put it, to the delegates. Have you paid something to the delegates?
Yeah, I don't want to go there. Please. I don't want to go there. Yeah, okay, so that one I don't want to go there. Or maybe you give somebody maybe something, pick car and come and vote. That one is allowed.
I'm sure by close of day you'll be here to interact with us once again.
I don't have any problem. But I know I'll win.
Are you sure about that?
I'm telling you. Inshallah.
Thank you very much. That's Yusuf Osman, one of the 3 candidates in this election. They are hoping to win the election. As he said, he's very optimistic of his chances. And what he's saying, or he's admitting, that some TNT has been given to some of the delegates. He wouldn't go into details, but as it's being done in a number of these constituencies, we understand that some of these candidates are giving out something, or in terms of financing the delegates, for their transportation. We are unable to tell how much exactly they are giving here in the Asawase constituency. As you can see, a lot of the delegates have come back to the grounds, and they are expecting that in an hour the EC will, be ready to, start the counting process itself. As I said earlier, over 950 delegates out of the 1,079 delegates we're expecting here have gone through the process, and they've cast their ballots here at the Asawase constituency. Let me get closer to some of the delegates and get to interact with them and listen to their concerns and what they have to say about the election so far. But let me talk about security here in the Asawase constituency. A number of policemen have come in. I can count not less than 60 policemen, uniformed men, who are all on the ground. There are others that I've seen, there are other policemen I've seen, but they are in plain clothes, and they are, going through the people, trying to interact with them and listen to what exactly is going on the ground. They are picking intelligence on the ground. Chief, Munyamwe delegates.
Delegates.
So far, election is saying.
Smooth. The confidence is
Send now Sipeno.
Sa said because in fear back on Taka and Nibasa bia Ebeka Ebia job in a Kupa de Bemani Bia Tanachi and Tina Busiabako.
Thank you very much. So essentially, okay, what do you have to add?
Well, as you can see, he's my brother. He's supporting number 3, and I'm also supporting number 1. So, but there is no quarreling. We know at the end of the day, MPP is going to win. Because whoever wins, we are going to follow him and do campaign well to collect the seat from Honorable Mubarak Muntaka. Surely too, we will collect it. So that is what I have to.
So the message that is being preached here is peace, that the NPP unite after the election and go ahead and fight or wrestle power from the NDC in the Asawase constituency. Mind you, this is the stronghold of the NDC in Ashanti region, and this constituency is in the center of Ashanti region. Ashanti region itself is NPP true and true, dominant by the NPP. And whenever there is an election, the NPP win the Ashanti region. But Asawase remains an NDC seat. Every year we have an NDC candidate winning the parliamentary seat here in Asawase. So this is the first step of the NPP towards winning this seat in 2024. In about an hour, counting will start, and we'll get to know who will win to represent the NPP in the next election.
Thank you so much, Nonaya Ojima. He's come to us live from the Asawase constituency in the Ashanti region, giving us updates. Let's head now to the Krowo constituency here in the Greater Accra region. Sole contender for that constituency, Engineer Emmanuel Dai, has vowed to snatch the slot from former Fisheries Minister Elizabeth Afole-Kwe. The two-time aspirant is optimistic his campaign will secure him over 80% of the total votes to win the seat for the New Patriotic Party in 2024. He spoke to my colleague James Aveji.
Well, what's that unexpected? What is the level of margin you expect to be there?
Oh, I know I'm getting over 80%.
Over 80%?
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm going to get over 80%. I have known my delegates. And they have known me. Just like the boss. When you have the boss, they follow you. And you can see everybody else. It's not a fluke. You know, the first one I just said, okay, it's okay. But this time around, I'm determined, and I've done a great job. You can see the coolness of everything. Everybody is cool. We have a very serene campaign, devoid of insults and the like. Though there were some few, but unlike Krowo. So, I mean, the day is for me.
Okay. Now, let's go beyond the internal party competition.
Yeah.
If you win, you are going to contest against a sitting parliament, which is coming from the NDC. This constituency actually looks like a very swing constituency. The NDC comes, the MPP replaces it. What exactly are you going to do to make sure you unseat the current MP 2024?
So when you have a brand, you know, I just like cook. Sometimes you need not to do the advert. Engineer is a household name today in Krowo. You can go around and check. And so that is it. I mean, I'm already there.
Is that enough?
Very, very, more than enough. You know, we are part of the system. You see, I'm involved in many things in the business, and they already know me. The town knows me. I'm their person. The last time people cried, you see, I'm an indigene here, and I've worked tirelessly for the people.
What is it that the current MP is not fixing?
Let's listen to Elizabeth Afole-Kwe. She's actually countering the allegations made by Engineer Dai.
It's fairly peaceful. Everything is going on smoothly, and I really appreciate what I'm experiencing now. Hopefully, I hope it stays like that, and I know it's going to stay like that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to carry the day. It's my prayer that we will win this coming election 2024. We are going to win the 2024 election. But what we need to do is to come together, try to mobilize ourselves and forge ahead in unity so that we can fight the NDC and win the 2024 election.
What are your chances in this election?
I'm winning.
By how many percentage?
With a very convincing margin. Yes.
Just that you may be interested, I just spoke with your main contender, and he believes that this is his time. His word is that you have lost touch with the people, and so he's hopeful to beat you with over 80% of the vote.
It's just bragging. He's just using words. Yes.
He says you will not even
I'm
get
more
about
experienced.
200 out of the 1,002.
Let's see. Let's wait and see.
So you are counting on your experience?
Yes, and my touch with the people. Yes, my relationship with the people.
And so it's not true that you have lost touch with the people?
It's not true. You can see. A lot of people are with me here.
Well, James Aveji is a man on the ground. He joins us live with more. James, quite an interesting place you've been to. What's happening currently?
Yeah, so the voting is currently ongoing at this very constituency. My check is that they are expecting about 1,203 delegates to actually cast their vote here.
And some 15 minutes ago, when I checked from the electoral or the EC officials, they indicate to me that over 700 delegates have casted their votes already. But generally, it's a very peaceful atmosphere here at the Pristeko voting center here at Owo. As you can see from the background, you will see people gathered all over the place under the trees, chatting with each other. Most of them have casted their votes already. Others are actually in queue waiting to cast their vote. You could see in less than an hour, at exactly 2 p.m., the voting process will come to an end here. But you could see the lines extending to the back there. I counted over 50 persons still in line to vote. And so you could see a lot of people are still in line to vote. In fact, when I spoke with some of the delegates earlier, the issues raised by the engineer Emmanuel Lai Odai, who is contesting with the former fisheries minister Elizabeth Akolekwe, has been raised. As at 12 o'clock this afternoon, she was not on the ground, and quite some people were actually pissed that they were here to vote for her, and she was nowhere to be found. And so they were not happy with the fact that they've been here waiting for her till about some few minutes past 12 before she hit the ground. And so they raised a concern that it doesn't look so much like she cares so much about this slot, and so she's just in the process. But some of her supporters are also holding a strong view that, listen, she has been a former MP, she's been a former minister, and so she is the one with the experience in order to lead them to snatch the seat from the NDC, Agnes Na Momo Kwe, from the constituency. And so that's what has been happening with the issues about whether there's been some exchanges of cards. And about some 10 minutes ago, a gentleman bled into the speaker behind me there, bled into the speaker that, listen, the party has sent what he described as TNT, 50 Ghana cedis to be given to each and every delegate, the 1,200 delegates that are supposed to vote here. And so everyone who has already voted and has not taken their TNT of 50 Ghana cedis will come to a building behind us and take that 50 Ghana cedis. Well, personally, I cannot confirm the sharing of the money, but that's what it led through the speaker some few minutes ago. And so it is expected that about 1,200 of the delegates will take 50 Ghana cedis home as TNT from the party, not from any of the candidates. So that's what it is looking like here. Very peaceful atmosphere. In some few minutes, elections will come to an end, and we'll see whether Elizabeth Na Akolekwe, the former fisheries minister and MP for Kowa, would emerge winner, or a civil engineer who works with the Ghana Roads and Highways Authority in charge of Greater Accra Road, engineer Emmanuel Lai Odai, would emerge as winner for the slot of the NPP to go into the 2024 election, looking forward to snatch the seat from the NPP. And so, it's a very peaceful atmosphere here at the Kowa constituency.
Aveji is our man on the ground. James, we know we're counting down to the final voting process, but do you know how many delegates have casted their votes so far?
Minutes ago, when I went to the EC official to cross-check, she made me understand that, in fact, we have two polling stations, polling station A and B. And from polling station A, we had over 400 delegates casting their vote so far. At polling station B, over 300 of them, and so roughly over 700 of the delegates out of the 1,203 casted their vote some 10 minutes ago, and so that should be over 50% of the delegates, and so that's what it looks like here. The delegates, and in fact the party, the reps of the aspirants are hopeful that they would achieve some over 80% to 90% of total votes here at Bowen. So over 700 have voted out of the 1,200. The hope is that they will get, if not the entire 1,200, they will get at least 1,000 of the delegates voting. A lot of the people are still in the queue, but 100 people are still in the queue waiting to cast their vote. So hopefully they are looking forward to some 1,000 delegates casting their vote here at the Power constituency at the Police Center.
Thank you so much, Aveji. Now, let's move on to the Lejokuku constituency here in the Greater Accra region. We know that 1,738 delegates would be casting their vote in that constituency. Currently, my colleague Samuel Mbura is the man on the ground. We'll go to him shortly, but first, he's been interacting with Dr. Bernard Okoboy, who is former Member of Parliament for the area.
I am very confident that by the time we finish with all the activities for today, Dr. Okoboy will be declared the winner for this election.
Where are you drawing your inspiration from?
Well, you know, when it comes to primaries, it's a lot of hard work on the ground. And I sent a very relevant message across that we are in this politics to help each other. And that the best person to offer them help is Dr. Okoboy. And the reason is simple. Your leader must have credibility. It's the only way people will be willing to commit things to him to bring it to you. And I believe that that message has gone down well. All the delegates you see want to be supported. They want to make progress in life. And so once you convince them that you can be the channel, then you know that it is possible you are going to win.
In 2016, you broke the power drought for the NPP in this constituency. Unfortunately, you lost it in 2020. The people think that there's a need for a new phase because this your constituency swings and it goes along with new faces. Do you think this assertion is fair?
Well, you know, primaries is good, but it's not as important as the main election. If you look at the NDC has repeated their candidate for the 2024 election. And so there will be no new faces on the ballot December 7th if you elect Okoboy. And that's why they are willing to go with me. For the first time, we are going to have two candidates who have all been former MPs. One will be a current MP, Benaiku. Myself.
What's the different strategy you are putting ahead?
Oh, you don't even need a different strategy. The current MP has gone AWOL. You know what AWOL means? Absence without leave. Ask the community whether they know where he is or they see him. His presence is zero. His impact is zero. And so we don't need any new strategy. Those who tried him have experienced him. They wouldn't go for him the second time.
So what's your projection, your margin of win today?
I have confidence that my team, the party, would win at the end of the day. My name will be the one that will be mentioned, but the victory will come for all of us.
What's the indication to the NDC candidate watching you now?
Oh, the NDC, they've been telling people that I'm their biggest headache. But the good news I have for them is that the headache will get worse.
There are some allegations, though not confirmed, but I just want to hear from you. The claims are that you are the darling boy from the top, and then they want you to rather go apart from you, they don't want a different person to go. How true is that?
But if you have a shady character, would the top make you their darling boy? If you live your life in a very humble manner, if you are well read, you seek knowledge, and if you are hardworking, you don't sit to be asked to join the party before you work. If you go out there.
Well, if you just tune in, you're still watching Your Election Headquarters. We're bringing you live coverage of the NPP's Orphans constituency elections across the country. We've been joined live by Evans Nimaku, who is Director of Elections for the NPP. We'll be interacting with him on several concerns raised across the country shortly. But still in the Lejokuku constituency, former second vice chairman of the NPP, Clifford Mate, says he is the grassroots man and is capable of winning the elections. He spoke to my colleague Samuel Mbura earlier.
No, but I've not seen anybody flouting any rule. I think that we've gone by the regular guidelines. We had meetings, and we're told about how to conduct ourselves. So far, so good.
I think one of the issues that have always come to bear on election day has to do with transportation and giving money to delegates and all that. Is that not happening here? Are your colleagues not doing that if you are not doing so?
Well, I have not heard of anyone doing so, and I haven't done so, like obviously you can see, except to go around to encourage my people to remember what I told them during the campaign. I have not heard of any.
But do you think the process has been fair so far? Is there not any pressure anywhere for a particular candidate to be elected?
Well, before the beginning of these elections, every political party will tell you that it's not going to be a very simple race. All four candidates are very strong candidates. You cannot say that you have won, and the delegates have played their part as delegates. Because I can say on authority that you cannot come into this election by pinpointing that I have this number of people. It was quite difficult because the delegates were just listening and then they're keeping their choices to themselves. Except for those who can count who are making too much noise. Majority of them kept it to themselves. So I would say before entering it, it's been a very keenly contested race. And on the ground, it's showing that every delegate is just listening anxiously for the ballots to be sorted and counted.
Samuel Mbura is a man on the ground. He joins us live with more. Samuel, we know that we just have a few more minutes to the end of the voting process. What can you report?
So, just behind me is the last.
Just behind me is the last queue that has been formed for the voting to end. We have over 1,738 delegates casting their ballots. We are left with less than 300 of them to cast their ballots. And I must say the exercise here has been smooth. It has been safe. And I must say the conduct of the delegates and the aspirants, we've not had any disturbances anywhere. I engaged some of the delegates and party supporters, and all they are telling me is that they need a candidate who can win the election for them in the 2024 general elections. But let me just engage briefly the constituency secretary of the NPP, Wisdom Donko, what he makes of the process so far. Mr. Donko, you're live on the Joy News channel. What do you make of the exercise so far?
So far, by God's grace, so good. It has been smooth, incident-free, and everything has been in order. From the security arrangement, electoral commission's arrangement, and even the media as well. Everything has been smooth for us so far.
Well, I think the party issued some guidelines for these elections. Would you say that the aspirants and the delegates have gone by that? Because we are getting reports from other constituencies of, attempted snapping of ballot papers and also luring these delegates to vote for them. From the aspirants, are you getting that from as a party or the organizing committee of this election, the constituency?
For Lejokuku, it has been very smooth. We envisage such activities to happen. So we engaged the aspirants about 3 days ago from Tuesday and Wednesday. We had an engagement with them with the Electoral Commission to give us a whole rundown of the whole electoral process, how many centers they are going to create. The party's communique they issued said that they were going to allow only one center, but we have 1,738 polling station executives or delegates to say. So with us and the aspirants, we agreed that it will be too tedious. So for that, we should do an internal arrangement and have 3 centers. And they agreed onto it. After that, we met the police. In this particular constituency, we have the Teshin Police Command, where we went to the aspirants to them to also tell us how they are going to detail the police. After that, we went to the Divisional Command, where they also told us how they are going to organize security on ground. So all the arrangements from the party, the aspirants adhered to it, and that has made the whole exercise, as you see, has been very peaceful.
But what I'm saying is that they are sharing food. The aspirants are sharing food to the delegates. Was that mutually agreed with the aspirants, or this their own arrangements?
It was a mutually agreed thing. The committee itself advised that we do not want a circumstance or a situation where one may do, one may not do. So we ourselves as a committee provided them with canopies. So if you will see, we have canopies for all 4 aspirants, that equally they should serve the people food, because the people, some came here as far as 5 a.m. just to come and queue.
So we envisage such things and we advise them that they should help the process by serving them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Donko. That's the constituency secretary of the NPP here at Lejo Kuku. As I said, in the next, we have less than 300 of them still in the queue to cast their ballots. We also know that the Lejo Kuku constituency is one of the populous constituencies in the country, with a voter population of over 152,000. That's the general election data, and the seat has always been a swing one between the NDC and NPP. And when I spoke with Mr. Okoboy, he indicated that they are really ready for this upcoming election, and they will ensure that they seal all the cracks within to marshal their efforts together in meeting the NDC candidate in the 2024 general election. So, Fosti, if you don't have further questions for me on location here, you can take it over in the studio from the Lejo Kuku constituency.
So much, Samuel Mburam. I'm taking it over because I have the Director of Elections for the NPP, Evans Simaku, join us live on Joy Newsroom. It's a pleasure to have you. First, let's go straight into business. You have received a lot of allegations of vote buying and counter-accusations of vote buying. First, I'll start with the Ablekuma Central Constituency, where delegates allege that they have been given envelopes. We also heard from some bold delegates in the Ejura Sechi-Dumasi constituency. They said that no money, no vote. This is clearly against the party's rules, isn't it? Evans, you have to unmute for me so that I can hear you clearly.
Hello?
Yes, you're loud and clear now.
Yes, good afternoon to you and to your viewers. I must say the party is pleased with the support we've gotten from the Ghana Police Service and the Electoral Commission. The party has come out with protocols, guidelines for the conduct of this exercise. And we are not condoning any exercise that is different from what we've put out. The party is not ready to accept any attitude, any behavior that is untoward. I mean, for those two constituencies that you've mentioned, Ablekuma Central and Ejura Sechi-Dumasi, the party has put together the national officers who are visiting all regions with the regional party to ensure that our guidelines that we put up will be respected by all stakeholders. The story we heard from Ejura Sechi-Dumasi, there's a delegate, a supposed delegate who is supposed to go and cast his votes and decide which of them he's given his mandate. But the party is not supporting any arrangement from any candidate that you induce anybody with the issue of money. We are aware of the details of the Political Party Act, and we are not supporting anything like that. I'm happy that he also mentioned that none of the candidates, as of the time we were talking to him, has given them any money. We have made arrangements for transportation, and that's what the party can do for delegates who are supposed to be in this conference. In case of Ablekuma Central, we've not been informed yet of any such situation, and so we'll wait for the report from the national officer assigned to the region. I must say that the regional executive themselves have formed themselves into all these 17 constituencies where conferences are taking place in Greater Accra. We'll wait and see, but we have confidence in the Ghana Police Service, and we are happy with the extent to which the EC has helped to conduct this exercise. And largely, in all these 111 constituencies, the process has so far been very smooth. We heard of situation in Adenta constituency.
Exactly, that's where I was coming to. The report on the ground was clear that this macho men who actually clashed with the police were members of the NPP. Can you confirm that?
I'm not able to confirm that, but I'm happy to inform you that the General Secretary was on the grounds and that he has engaged with the police, and so leadership will take the issue up.
Interesting. Now let's talk about Tamale, because we've also received reports of some arrests there because some of the delegates decided to take snapshots of their votes to sort of tell whoever they're voting for that indeed we have voted for you. Now, this is clearly against the rules. Have you received such reports in any other constituency? How many arrests so far?
Yes, I think apart from the Sabuluku constituency where an individual decided to take a picture, there hasn't been any report of this incident. And we do not support that. We said that no voter can go into the polling booth and cast the vote and show it up or take a picture of it, because we believe in the sanctity of the voting process, and all arrangements were put in place to ensure that we communicate to all delegates. And you see, if you look at delegates for this exercise, you have polling station executives, electoral coordinators, constituency executive members from the Council of Elders and Patrons who have been nominated by themselves. So these are constituency leadership of the party, and we expected to have serious collaboration with them. And largely across the constituencies, we're looking at almost 86,000 voters. And if you have such one incident, it's not welcome though, but I must say that the exercise has been very successful so far.
The issue of vote buying came up during the presidential primaries. It has come up again at the parliamentary stage. The question is that, is the party going to act this time? Because from the last time we had this conversation, we still haven't had proper sanctions from the party.
The party has internal mechanism of addressing issues like this. But if you openly go out to induce voters, that one, the law will take care of you, because the political party frowns upon treating of delegates or voters. And so for those ones, I mentioned that we appreciate the professional support given us by the Ghana Police Service. Party is not supporting that. That is why we've made a lot of effort to ensure that our delegates who have to commute from their homes to the district centers where the conferences are taking place are supported with transportation. That is the extent to which the party can ensure that our...
That is Evans Nimako. We're losing you there. We can't hear you. Please position rightly and give us more about this. We've been speaking to the Director of Elections for the New Patriotic Party, Evans Nimako. We're bringing you full coverage of the NPP Offen constituency elections, parliamentary elections. We know that the Vice President, who happens to be flag bearer for the NPP, has also released a statement to candidates. He's been urging them to play fair, even as they go to the elections. And we know that counting is underway at some constituency because voting will soon be ending. On your screen now is a copy of that statement. I'll bring it to you shortly. It says, through the first paragraph, let's go there, the statement from the New Patriotic Party's flag bearer, Dr. Baumia. He says, in the spirit of the elections, he says he's extending his sincerest wishes of good fortune to all candidates who have put themselves forward for consideration. It moves on to the last paragraph to say, let them be rewarded for their efforts and let their campaigns be marked by integrity, respect, and a genuine desire to serve the people of Ghana. While he's also been urging them to play fair, in that second paragraph, we see that we must respect the principles underpinning our democracy as we embark on this electoral process. The principles of freedom, fair play, and peace must be upheld in the conduct of these elections. Now, let's head now to the Ablekuma Central constituency. My colleague Michael Ashale is there for us. You've been on the grounds, allegations of vote buying, videos of money going around. Tell us what's happening on the ground. Michael, I can't hear you at this point. You have to position yourself rightly. Please unmute.
Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Please tell me what's happening at your
I'm just saying
constituency.
that just about a few minutes to the end of posting, you can see the policemen, uniformed men, who are readying themselves to police the final lap of the elections here at Ablekuma Central. Specifically, we are the heart of the police coaches here at Odoko. So, I mean, in terms of vote buying, we have had videos of delegates, and even some of the candidates themselves confirmed to us that they have given out large sums of cash to individuals branded envelopes with the intention of what is supposed to be your TNT. I spoke to the delegates. They agreed with taking this money, some as much as 2,000 Ghana cedis. So it's Christmas here for some of the delegates. However, they also agreed that they've taken some 50 Ghana cedis that was may or supposed to have come from the party as well to these individuals it's been tense here, given that we are just about the final lap of the election, and we hope that the police will do their job to the latter. It's been peaceful relatively, and we are hoping that will continue to the end. But you can see, again, the policemen and women themselves readying themselves to go the final lap of this election. Some of the candidates themselves standing not far from here, waiting to also police the system themselves first.
Interesting. Michael Ashali is a man on the ground at Ablekuma Central Constituency. Let's head now to Ho. Ivy Sechaji, you're there for us. What's happening at your constituency? We know we have less than 3 minutes for voting to end. Is that the case at your area? Ivy, please unmute so that I can hear you. I'm asking you what's the situation on the grounds at Ho. At your constituency, how many delegates have so far casted their ballot? We know we have less than 3 minutes for voting process to end. Ivy, I still can't hear you. You have to position yourself rightly. We are your election headquarters. We're bringing you live coverage of the NPP Offen constituency parliamentary elections. And Ivy, I hear you are back. Ivy, you're loud and clear. Please speak to me.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you?
Ivy, let's go straight to it. I'm asking you what's the situation on the ground at Ho. A bit of difficulty reaching Ivy there. We are your election headquarters. We've been bringing you live coverage of the NPP Offen constituency parliamentary elections. Ivy, I'm told you're now on phone. Is the connection better now? Tell us what's happening at Ho.
Yes, so here in Ho, we have a lot of the delegates session here waiting for the EC to start sorting. For now, the last person have just casted his vote and left. According to the EC, about over 1,120 have so far casted her vote so far, and they are waiting for the sorting to begin. So the EC is positioned, the security, that's the police and other security services are also here ready to maintain peace and order. So for now, we spoke to the two candidates earlier. The two of them were very hopeful of emerging the winner at the close of the day. That's the MC for Ho, Divine Boston, and the lady who is contesting him, Millicent Sokoro. So here we are waiting for the sorting to start. It has been very peaceful, even though we understand some people, the two parties have tried to share money in the queue where the police or the security men were able to stop that action. But so far, everything is very peaceful here at Maudi School where the voting just ended. So we are waiting for the sorting to start and then counting as well.
Yes, so we will be monitoring the proceedings as counting would begin in a matter of seconds across the country. We know that the voting process ought to end at 2 p.m. sharp, and it's 2 p.m. We are your election headquarters. My name is Faustina Savo. That's how we wrap up Joy Newsroom. Later in the day, my colleague Evans Mensah will be bringing you a collation of results across the country. Do stay tuned in.